Hey everyone, welcome to the UG podcast, where we talk about becoming deeply rooted in Jesus through real conversations about identity, belonging, and purpose. We're your hosts. I'm Vivian,
I'm Vanya.
And I'm Ethan.
and we're glad you're here. So, this is our very first episode of the student led podcast. How are you guys feeling?
I'm excited, a little nervous, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited. I've been really looking forward to this, but I'm really glad that I'm here now.
Yeah, I definitely feel that. It's a little nerve-wracking, but I'm just excited. I think that God's going to do a lot through this podcast, so I can't wait to
Mhm.
see that. So,
Yeah.
Right.
again, just to kind of recap who we are, I'm Vivian and I'm a senior this year.
My name is Vanya, and I am a junior this year.
Yes, and I'm Ethan, and I'm going to be a sophomore this year in high school.
So, how has y'all summer been going? How have y'all been feeling? How does it feel to start the school year?
Oh. Um, Not excited to start the school year, but definitely summer. This has probably been one of my favorite summers so far. Just really great
Really?
memories. So, yeah. How about you?
Yeah, my summer's been really good. It's been really good. I've been really enjoying it. I feel like there are a bunch of highlights this summer. I feel like one of my big highlights is that my family went to Europe, so that
That's
was
so
really
cool.
nice. It
That's
was really
awesome.
cool.
I would definitely say I feel like the summer has been kind of a chill summer for me. Just, trying to get back into the swing of things with school starting now and everything, but
Mhm.
been working a lot all summer, so it's been good, just pretty chill.
Nice.
So, Vanya, tell us more about why this was one of your favorite summers.
Oh my gosh. So I went to a dance camp. It's called a or summer intensive, and this is my first time being out of home for a really long time. I went to Mississippi for 2 weeks, and that was a super fun experience. Dance a whole lot and was able to perform. I learned so many things. Not just sorry, my cat is here.
I love
Not
cats.
just like not just in not just in dance, but also spiritually.
Mhm.
It was just such a fun experience. I got to meet a whole bunch of people, um, and just connect and learn so much. I had my first partnering class, which was extremely fun. Um, we had a performance at the end, and it was just a super fun time. So, and then I got to
That's
spend some
great.
time with family and friends. So,
Vanya, what was like doing all of that dancing for 2 weeks? What was that like? Like, was it physically hard, mentally? Like, what was the
mm,
struggles there?
it was definitely very hard and just dancing in a space where you don't know anyone. Um, but yeah, and of course, like mentally, you get into like doubting and like, oh my gosh, am I actually a good dancer or am I just like here for other reasons? Or like, why was I put in this level? Like, this is so hard. Like, I'm such a bad dancer. Or like, even like, oh my gosh, this girl's so amazing. And it's like, I'm just here like struggling. And in that, that's just a huge thing that I had to work on is feeling confident in my dancing abilities and in myself that like I can get through this. Like, they put me in this level for a reason because they can trust that I can take on the challenge and get through the class. And so in that aspect, that was probably one of my biggest challenges, but overall,
Well,
such an amazing experience.
and Vanya, you really are such an amazing dancer. Like the Lord uses that so
Thank you.
much,
Oh
and
yeah,
so many
definitely.
people can see that. Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Uh,
How was work for you? What if you, or like, what job were you doing?
work. So I am a lifeguard at a country club. And work is
Hmm.
it's interesting. It's every day is a new day, and it presents itself with new challenges, but it's fun too. It's like it's a nice little summer job, and I think a lot of people do lifeguarding and it's fun just doing it at like kind of a smaller pool with, the same people. I've gotten to know a lot of really cool people, and make a lot of really good connections. So that was definitely my favorite part of working there. What about you, Ethan? What else have you done this summer?
Outside of the trip, something that I've really been doing is sports. I've been doing a bunch
Mm.
of sports, basketball, soccer, and soccer is. I'm enjoying basketball more because soccer, you're
Mm.
outside and it's hot,
Hmm.
and you don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so
Ew.
much, but I feel like
Ew.
overall, it was it was nice. It was really
Mhm.
fun. I've been doing sports. I've been enjoying it. I love playing sports. Um, so yeah.
Well, so school's starting soon. Are y'all excited? Are y'all, kind of transitioning
Mm,
out of summer going into school season?
Oh,
eh,
I think my mind's still in summer. I don't
I
think
know.
right.
it's hit that, we're going to school in like less than 2 days. I can't.
Less than 2 days, and I still haven't started either one of
Mhm.
my English projects.
Oh no.
It's okay, guys. We'll get there.
Okay, it's okay.
It's okay. It's okay. That's a
Yeah.
tomorrow problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe I should start that.
Yeah, I
Ah.
feel like for me, I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm glad I get to see my friends again. I'm glad that I get to participate in all the fun activities that go along in school, but just the idea of having to wake up before 8 o'clock and get
Mhm.
ready and get to school and have work, it's just like something I just don't want to go back to, but I'm pretty excited.
Mhm.
No, I
Yeah.
totally get what you're saying. I like the
Mhm.
routine of it's nice, but all of the factors that come with that routine are
Yeah.
not
Mhm.
always the nicest, like waking up early.
Yeah.
So I totally get that.
Hmm.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
How do y'all feel about like first days of school? Like, do you guys get a lot of anxiety about it? I know for
Mm.
me, like the night before, like I'll try and go to bed early just to be prepared to like, wake up early
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
everything. And I like cannot sleep. I just get so anxious. I'm just like,
Oh
I
yeah.
need to start.
Yeah. Um, that used to be me when I was like younger, but like I guess as I got older and older, I became like less anxious.
Mhm.
But definitely this year I have a lot more like nervousness and like stress just because there's so much new this year. Um, Definitely like it feels like a brand new chapter for me. So just walking in with like not really knowing what's gonna happen, that's kind of a little
Right.
nerve-wracking, but also at the same time just very like exciting to see like what's God has in plan for this year. So,
I love that. Yeah. What about you,
Yeah.
Ethan?
Yeah, for me, I feel like the first day of school can always be very nervous. I don't know why. I've been at Burden. I'm sure, yeah, we've all been at Burden for many years, but it's still like the first day is something about it that's really scary.
So, what are you guys kind of looking forward to with this school year? Like putting all of the anxiety, the nerves aside, what are y'all ready for? What are y'all
mhm.
excited for?
I think I'm just excited to be like upperclassmen now, finally.
Mm-hmm.
And that
Mhm.
this is like the last year before senior year and like just excited to like get closer to when school ends, but it's also kind of sad because it's like
Right.
you're getting older, you're getting closer to adulthood, and just like the stresses and like worries about the future kind of starts getting more real because, freshman year is like, oh, I have this plan, I'll maybe do it, but I don't need to think about it right now. But as you get closer to senior year, it's like, oh, wait, I actually have to have like a plan and like I have to like think about all these things, like how am I gonna live? How am I gonna get money for whatever, housing and all of that. So
No, I
that's
totally
like
get it.
it's like happy and sad. I'm excited for to be done with school, but I'm also, a little sad that like I have to leave all these friends and kind of
Mm.
leave what I'm used to. So happy and sad.
I
How about
totally
you,
get that.
Vivian?
No. That and I kind of what you're talking about is now what I'm kind of going through.
Mhm.
Where like junior year, I know for me, and this is a challenge that both of y'all may or may not face, but I think for
Mhm.
me, one of the struggles I had was at first like not really knowing what I for sure wanted to do after. high school, and junior year I feel like is when people start asking you and like kind of hounding you on like where are you going to college?
Mm-hmm.
What are you gonna do in college? What do you want to have as a career? And it's just like I don't
Mm-hmm.
know yet. So I definitely think that
Yeah.
that's something that I struggled with junior year. But now
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of at the point where I'm excited to be done. I'm excited to have, from
Mm-hmm.
what I've been told, senior year is more of like a fun kind of just like obviously you still have schoolwork, but it's your last year, so
Mm-hmm.
teachers tend to like go lighter if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that's the case. But I'm excited to have those fun events with my friends and just those traditions that we have and stuff keep
Mm-hmm.
going with those for one more year. I think I'm really
Yeah.
excited for that. But I'm definitely a little nervous with now like having to figure out where I'm going after.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
so definitely that's in the back of my mind a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say to piggyback off of that, there's a bunch of nerves. There's a lot of things that are going on going into this next school year. So I just want to ask you guys, how does your faith, like your relationship with God, how does that
Mm.
kind of move into this school year? How does God help you as you go throughout your school year?
Mm.
I think I love that question because in a way, I don't want to say it's a tricky question. I feel like there's a lot of really good answers. I know for me though, personally, one of the struggles I have is remembering to include God in the little everyday parts of your life, and I think that's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
it can be hard to remember, like, oh, right before a test, like pray about it, and like all this different stuff, that we've been taught where
Mm-hmm.
it's like, oh, rely on God. But then when it comes down to like stuff with school, I think for me, that's kind of when I'm like, no, I've got it. Like I can do it by myself. And
Mm-hmm.
so I think that's definitely something I struggle with. But I would probably say, I think when it comes to having faith and how that changes and helps, like I know I never have to do anything alone, and I know I have someone to rely on. And
Mm-hmm.
I think it's also just helping teach me that like I don't have to worry. Like I don't have to have everything figured out right
Hmm.
now, but I also don't have to
Mm-hmm.
worry
Hmm.
because God has a plan for my life. So I definitely think
Yeah.
that's kind of where it plays a part for me.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That was really
Yeah,
nice.
I would agree. I would agree on that. Especially I'm a huge planner. So like
Me
I've
too,
like
girl.
had my life plan since like middle school and I'm not even joking. But it God has been like like revealing to me especially through this summer that like it's like I'm super like I'm an also like an anxious person and an overthinker.
Mhm.
So I'm like, what if it doesn't go well?
Hmm.
Or what if this happens? Then that's gonna affect this and like all of these things. And God has really been like revealing to me, he's like, you don't have to like worry about it. It's like, yes, like have a plan. Like it's good to have a plan. You don't want to go graduate and be like, well, I guess
Not
we'll
have
see
to,
what
yeah,
happens, or
right.
Yeah.
just
Right.
go through life
Right.
without a plan. But he's just been revealing to me that it's like you don't have to let that consume you and let that like the fears and anxieties just control your life. And so especially going through like these next 2 years, just having that like faith that like, he has me, he has a plan for me, like I'm going to be okay. And we're just gonna take things one step at a time. So
100%.
yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Ethan?
For me, yeah, for me, I would say what God has kind of been showing me this summer is a factor of endurance almost like during those hard moments,
Mm,
during
Hmm.
those times whenever I'm struggling and I'm going through things like you have me by your side. God is saying like, look, you can turn to me. Everything's going to be okay. You can take this load off your back and I'll hold it for you. And so I feel like for me, going into this school year, having that knowledge of what God is showing me, and keeping that and holding it close to my heart, I feel like is very important for me. It's very challenging, also because it's not always going to be easy to pick up your Bible and read. It's not always going to be the easiest thing to pray, especially when you're upset about some things. But yeah, I
Hmm.
feel like this summer God has showed me endurance, and so carrying that endurance into the school year will be very important for me.
Mm.
right. I agree.
Yeah.
That's really awesome. I'm glad that he's kind
Hmm.
of given you that clarity and kind of showed you that this summer. That's awesome, Ethan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And another thing that um has really been like a conviction to me is that we are all called to be like worshipers and worship God and like serve him. And sometimes I'm like, well, how do I like does that mean like I sing out all day or like how do I be a worshiper? And um one of my teachers said this really well that it's like being a worshiper is like what you do every day. Like you worship God through
Mm,
how you interact with people. You worship God
Hmm.
by how you care for someone. You worship God by how you treat your teachers and your friends and your family. And it's been like a big conviction that like treating people and loving people around you is like that's how you worship God. That's how you bring glory to God. That's how you share
Hmm.
the good news and the love of God to people. So that's something that has been really important to me and that I want to bring to this next year is treating people and loving people no matter how, you know, how much they get on your nerves or how mean they are to you or
Yeah.
yeah.
all of that, just like loving them and caring for them and having a genuine like care for everyone around you. So that
I
has
love
been a
that.
big thing for me too.
That's so important too, because you can use that in every aspect of your life.
Hmm.
The way you interact with your family, the way you interact with your friends, like you said, your teachers, the people who you don't really like all of that. You always have to have that kind of interaction style to really show God's love and to also be worshiping Him full time, if you will. So I think
Hmm.
Yeah.
that's really important. So kind of to close this out, talking about the school year and summer and everything. How do you guys, with UG, we always talk about living an identity and purpose and belonging. And how do you guys see that in your life right now? How do you feel like we can live that way, especially with the school year starting?
I would say for me, with that idea of identity and belonging and purpose, I feel like for me personally, it's not so much of a thing that I need to necessarily find. Like, I don't need to find my identity. I don't need to do all this, but like God has just revealed it to me, and He's revealed it to me in so many different aspects of my life. Whether you're helping out with playing music or you're singing or anything like that, I feel like um, it's been so important for me with belonging and having this big idea because God is showing me like, look, you don't have to have it all figured out, and I'm going to show you
Right.
your purpose. I'm going to show you what I've called
Hmm.
you to do. So yeah, that's what it means to me.
I love that,
Yeah.
Ethan. I definitely, and I just want to piggyback kind of off that. I definitely agree with what you're saying and definitely feel that in my own life too. I think identity can be really hard kind of where we are in life because you got a point when you're in high school, you're transitioning. I know for me, like
Hmm.
getting ready to go to college. And so now you're just kind of like, who am I? Like, what am I doing? Who am I? And I think that it's so important that we just trust that, God tells us who we are. We just have to trust that.
Hmm.
You may not feel
Yeah.
it in certain moments, but he does tell us who we are. And I think with
Hmm.
purpose also, I think that there's a beauty in this waiting period that we go through sometimes.
Hmm.
We don't always know what our
Hmm.
purpose is in the moment, and that's okay.
Yeah.
God
Right.
has a plan. He knows our purpose. So we can just,
Yeah.
take a second. It's hard because no one wants to give up that control of their life. But if you take a second, just keep praying about it and everything, God reveals his purpose to you, our purposes.
Yeah.
So I think that's special. Go ahead, Vanya.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
Mhm. I think especially in high school and both of y'all have touched like on this that it's such a pivotal moment in all of our lives. It's when we're like figuring out like who we are, what do we want to do, um, like just like who we are as a person and like what our legacy wants or yeah, what our legacy wants to be. And sometimes we can like forget about what God tells us who we are and what our identity is, and we start making things our identity. We can make like our grades our identity, or we can make
Mm,
like our sports that we do our identity, or what this person thinks about me as our identity. And I think reminding ourselves what God told us our identity is super important because sometimes, school can get hard and
Yeah.
wanting that desire to like belong or like to belong in a place or to belong in a certain group of people and just having that community, sometimes we can try to change our identity or change who we are to,
Right.
you know, to belong more, but just rooting ourselves in the identity um that we are all God's children and that we are all loved by our wonderful creator and our Father in heaven, that just rooting in that can really help just getting through the year. That doesn't mean that you're never going to feel loneliness or that you're never going to feel anxiety or you're never ever going to be nervous about a test or what this person
Right.
thinks. But just having that sense of like foundation that like I know who I am in
Mm,
Christ and that I know
mhm.
what my purpose is or I know where I belong and that is
Yeah.
in the family of Christ. Just gives you just a sense of peace and knowing where you belong and knowing that like whatever happens at school, like I know where I belong.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that so much, Vanya. And that's definitely something that I think we're all still learning with our lives. So I think that's so important and so special to remind ourselves of.
Yeah, I really love that. I really enjoyed what you just shared with us. I feel like it really relates well with the Bible text, Philippians 4, 6 through 7, where it
Mm.
talks about don't be anxious about anything, instead pray about everything because, God has a plan for us, like you were saying, and we belong to the family of Christ. We belong to God. God knows us by name. He calls us his children. So just accepting that and knowing that it's okay, like to not have everything figured out. I feel like that's really amazing.
Yeah, I agree. And that was a really good Bible text to fit in. Good job, Ethan. That was awesome.
Mhm.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, well, I think this is probably the end of today's podcast. Again, this was our first student-led podcast for UG Youth. We're super excited to get this
Yeah.
started and keep going.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, this is the UG podcast where we grow deep and live loud. Thank you for joining us.